my review for Miss Universe 2020. So the competition just happened. It's been a lot, and I mean a lot of very emotional reactions. So this is how I'm going to structure the video. I'm going to have 3 parts, and in the last part I'll describe what I'll answer the question about was it rigged or not, because unfortunately that is a question that many pageant fans, including myself, that's a question that's on our mind. Was this fixed? Was this rigged? So let's get started. Okay, so let's talk about the top 21. Let's get into it with the shocks. I was shocked that there was no Iceland, South Africa, Nepal, and Canada. And truly, my biggest shock was South Africa not being there, but I was also personally really disappointed that Canada wasn't there. I really thought she would be a shoo-in for a placement, and I find it really hard to believe that she would not have been great at her interview, at the closed door interview. We don't see the footage of that, but it happens, and it's a very important part of the judging. And I don't know, would she have been really that bad at the interview round? Because for me, not only is she a good interviewer, she has a very compelling, amazing story, life story. And she's such a standout in every way from all of the other contestants. So the fact that she didn't make semifinals is very shocking, and I was very disappointed by that. And I'll discuss as to why I think that might be a little bit later. But yeah, I was very, very disappointed in the fact that Canada didn't make it. Obviously, Iceland, South Africa, Nepal, those were also other fan favorites that didn't make it. Who was I surprised made it into the top 20? I was surprised by Curacao, Argentina, and Costa Rica. However, Costa Rica was a happy surprise for me. She was absolutely amazing, and I'm glad she made it and made it into the top 10. She was truly remarkable. But Curacao and Argentina, for me, I was not expecting them to make it into the top 21, and I wasn't particularly blown away by their performances in the swim round. Let's talk about the hosts. I think Mario Lopez is a very good host. He has great energy. He's fine. Olivia, for me, her energy was a little bit off. I think maybe she was very worried about getting things right. She seemed very over it. Obviously, we've seen the memes all over the internet, and her face just seemed very over it right from the beginning. So I wish they had more energy, more, because I think the host sort of brings out the excitement of the show, and Steve Harvey does that really, really well. Another thing that can also be a part of it is that there isn't a huge audience as there usually is, and sometimes maybe hosts feed off the audience's energy, but I just felt that the energy levels of the hosts could have been way up high and more vibrant and funnier and more interesting. Something was definitely missing, especially with Olivia Culpo. I was happy that there were no opening statements. I'm glad they got rid of those. Those were a waste of time. Okay, next is the swimsuit round. Gorgeous swimsuits. I said that before. They really are so beautiful. Love the colors, love the designs. I wish the capes matched the costumes. Some of the capes looked just like an unnecessary add-on that was quite cumbersome. They were not great. They've had far better capes in the past. For example, the capes they had in 2018, even 2019, these were just too long and cumbersome, and many of them didn't match the swimsuit, so it looked quite odd. My personal favorite for swimwear is to have a sarong, and then they remove the sarong. I think that's just a better look. My standouts were Thailand, the Dominican Republic, she was amazing, Peru, India, and Costa Rica. They were, for me, the best in swim. The top 10 were great. It must have been difficult for the judges to choose because all 21 were really great, or most of them were fantastic. So many great contestants were left out, such as the Philippines, Great Britain, and Indonesia. I was sad to see those 3 were not included, but the top 10 were wonderful. I don't know who I would remove from the top 10. They were all fantastic. The evening gown round was beautiful. My only nitpick was I wish they played a slower song. I didn't like the fast-paced song. It sounded like something you'd use for swim rather than evening gown. I like it when they have a slower song. It elevates the moment and makes it feel much more elegant and regal, and the girls can walk a little bit slower. So that was off for me. I don't know why they did that. For me, the standouts in evening gown were Thailand, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Jamaica. I thought she was gorgeous, but my favorite was Peru. Her gown was so fabulous. It fit her like a glove. You can tell that it was custom made for her, and she walked so confidently. I loved her pose at the end. Everything was beautiful. I usually don't like silver and golds and nudes because I feel they're overdone, but hers was done so wonderfully. It was immaculate. Nothing about it I would change. I thought it was great. Mexico's gown was okay. I really liked it when she turned around, but she could have had something better. I think Mexico in 2019, that was a much better dress. Clearly, the Mexican contestants love red. That seems to be their go-to color. But I think everybody looked amazing. But my standouts were Thailand, Costa Rica, Peru, Puerto Rico, and Jamaica. I like the Dominican Republic, but I did not like her dress. I don't like that brown dress. I thought it didn't do her any justice, but her face was beautiful as always. Now, part 3. I am talking about the top 5 now. I'm very disappointed Jamaica didn't make it. She was my queen. She was my winner from the beginning, from, you know, before the competition started. I loved Jamaica so much. So I was so upset that she didn't make it. We cannot deny the, so let me just say the top 5. The top 5 were Brazil, Mexico, Peru, the Dominican Republic, and India. So we can't deny the Latin influence in the top 5. And the whitewashing, I must say, I haven't heard people really talk about this, but I feel that there's almost, it feels very Trump era. I feel like we're going back to 2013, 2012, where there weren't that many black contestants who went far, and those who did tended to be quite lighter skinned. So, you know, if you go back to 2013, the top 5 was all Latin except for the Philippines. No one was black. 2014, the only black person was Jamaica, and she was very light skinned, and she ended up 4th runner up. It's just this pattern that I've seen that I've really disliked, and I thought Miss Universe was now heading in the right direction, but they've gone back. They've regressed. Clearly. I don't know if I'm being too critical or I'm being too sensitive, but I just didn't like that. I didn't like that Jamaica wasn't included. What was the reason why she was not in the top 5? She was an absolute standout. And why was Canada not in the top 21? And I think it might be, I don't know, it might be because she doesn't fit the mold of what the Latin world, of what Telemundo thinks is beautiful. And there was a heavy influence, and we should have known, since it was being hosted in Miami, that they were going to take it all the way back to Latin and Latin influence and Latin American countries being absolutely dominant. So I think that was kind of suspicious, but maybe I'm being sensitive. What do you guys think? Do you think that this was whitewashed? Do you think that there were not enough black contestants included in the top 10 and in the top 5? I really think Jamaica should have made it. Maybe I'm just sensitive because of Jamaica. So yeah, and then why was the DR 4th runner-up? I think she gave a very good answer. So the way that it played out was very disappointed, which was fantastic. It was great, and you could really see well prepared and really coming from the heart. So I think her answer was way above everybody else's. So strange things happen sometimes. Now the question, was it rigged? I think this is really complicated because every year I notice that there are maybe some contests. I think that the top 2 or even the winner is established before the final night, really. And I don't think that it's something that happened this year only. It happens before. Sierra Burchill, who competed at Miss Universe 2016, she was from Canada. She made a video speaking about how it seemed as if Iris knew that at least she will be in the top 5 of Miss Universe. And there was a time even before the competition where Miss France had personal time with with Pia Wurtzbach, who was the current Miss Universe. They spent some time together, and no one else had that time with Pia. And then apparently when they were standing on stage waiting for the semi-finalists to be called, it was a top 13 that year. Iris was heard saying, "I'm so nervous about what question they're going to ask in top 5." And that's a very strange thing to say when you don't even know if you're going to make it to the top 13, let alone the Q&A round, which was actually top 6 that year. So, it seemed as if maybe she knew something, or they sort of earmark who they want as the winner. That's why I feel the winner is always sort of established more or less in the weeks leading up to Miss Universe, if not months before. I think they see who they want to win. This year, of course, there's that Latin influence that I spoke about. Telemundo is a huge sponsor. There are many Latin sponsors of the competition. It's happening in Miami, which, yes, is an American city, but it's very heavily influenced by Latin America. Many Latin American people are there. So it's possible that they wanted to take this and give the crown back to a Latin American country for the first time since 2014. Miss Universe organization is a business, and they're going to try to protect their bottom line. Bottom line is all about the bottom line. They're always going to try to protect their financial interests, especially now because it seems as if they were having some struggles with finances and support and sponsors, and they've sort of picked that back up, and maybe they decided let's focus on which side our bread is buttered, and we need Latin influence because they have a huge audience in Mexico and Brazil, and so let's try to appease them. Because it was very strange. But at the same time, a lot of these Latin countries, a lot of the Americas in general, have very strong contestants year after year. I'm glad the continental divisions were erased. I think that the top 21 should be comprised of people who are truly the top 21, not just they're the best in their region, which happens to be a weak region like Europe. So I think that was a good thing. So maybe nothing nefarious was going on. I've heard some people say that they left certain contestants out, like South Africa, because she would have outshone the person that they wanted to win. I don't think that's true. If they want to rig a competition, they're going to rig the competition. If they have a particular winner, they're going to have a particular winner. Because who is to say who outshone who? They'll just have their particular winner. I think maybe South Africa didn't make it because she was not good at her interview. That is a possibility. And the reason why I think that, and I know people are going to criticize me, but the reason why I think that is because for those of you who watched Miss South Africa 2020, you can go and watch it if you haven't. The top 5 were asked questions as usual. Natasha gave the worst answer, objectively speaking, out of the top 5. And we were all shocked that she made top 3. And the people who didn't make top 3, so everyone gave a better answer. Shudu, Tato Mosehle, they both gave great answers. They were number 1, number 2, great. Lebogang and Melissa gave excellent responses, but they didn't place. Natasha placed over them, so that was kind of strange. And it seemed to me like, okay, no matter what Natasha would have said, they wanted her to the top 3 because they wanted to send her to a particular pageant. She's not the strongest speaker. She was not the strongest speaker at South Africa, at Miss South Africa. So it's possible that she wasn't very strong at Miss Universe. Sending second runner-ups, maybe that's not a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Zosie was the winner, Tamron was a winner, Demi was a winner, and they were winners for a reason. The first time you don't send a winner, she doesn't place, maybe there's a reason for that as well. So I think the case with Natasha is a bit more complicated than people are sort of willing to admit to or trying to see. I think it's a bit deeper than that. There are reasons why she may not have placed in the top 21. But again, I think it makes it more exciting. It's nice to see different countries win, different countries place, and It's excellent for a country like Peru to make top 5, for the Dominican Republic to make top 5. I'm so happy for them. I'm happy for Costa Rica. I'm happy for Jamaica. So we need to see new countries out there doing their thing. When is Thailand gonna win? I'm just waiting for the day Thailand wins, because they've been trying so hard for quite a few years, and I think they're inching closer and closer to victory. They just have to find the winning formula, the winning contestant. So please let me know, what do you think? Do you think the competition was rigged? What do you think of Andrea? I personally think Andrea is amazing. She's beautiful. I've been a supporter of hers for a long time, and I am so excited to see what her reign is. Even if something nefarious was going on in this competition, it's not Andrea's fault. So any hate directed towards her is completely invalid. So please show her support and love. And please leave your comment, like the video, and subscribe. I'll see you soon.